Also, something like really creepy happened today.
See, this is the noise that This is the noise that I'm talking about. It just all of a sudden started making this noise and it's off.
I realized I did the wrong worksheet for my observation. And the student was like, oh, I'm reading! I forgot my lunchbox in my classroom. Morning guys, it is Sunday and I'm about to head to my classroom. I was gonna do some printing here and then just go to my classroom a little bit later, but I just changed the ink cartridge on my printer, and for whatever reason it's printing really weird. When it comes to using the black ink, it's just like striped all the way through. I have no idea how to fix it, so I'm just gonna go to my classroom and print some things there. So I guess it just won't be in color. I was gonna get ready, but then I realized I should just go to my classroom right now, and all I need to do anyway is do my hair, so I can do that when I come back. So I'm gonna go to my classroom, but before I go, I'm gonna stop at the store. I'm gonna buy some Advil because I have a really bad headache, and I'm also gonna buy some Starbucks. Alright, so I'm in my classroom. I'm about to change the labels for my focus wall to like some thinner labels, and I'm gonna post my standards for the week. Alright, so everything keeps printing kind of weird. As you can see, only the black ink is like printed really weird. Colored ink is okay, so I think maybe just my black ink cartridge was maybe damaged, or I don't know, but this is really bothering me. Alright, so it's Sunday night, it's 10:30 p.m. I'm about to go to sleep pretty soon, but I just want to show you what I've been working on for a little bit, if I can find them. I literally just had them. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. Alright, so I showed you these apples a little bit ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue some pom-poms onto them, and then I'm going to have them in a bin. Then students are going to get like the giant tweezers from Dollar Tree, and they're going to pick apples. And then depending on what apple they get, they're going to write it down on this recording sheet. So I just printed out 4 and laminated them because I just want them for practice, and because I have a pretty small class, especially during centers, I can tell what kids are doing their work and what kids are not doing their work. So that's why I don't have them turn this in, at least not this particular activity. I also printed out my Write the Room cards for tomorrow, and then I also made some parking lot activities. So this is my parking lot activity for counting. So I bought some mini not dice, what are they called? Domino tiles, and they're gonna count the dots on the tile and then just park it where it belongs. So I have 2 different cards. So I have 0 to 9, and then I also have 2 to 11. So I'm gonna have that tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have it as a center for math or as a early finisher activity, so I don't know yet. So that is all I'm gonna do for tonight. I'm gonna go clean up and go to sleep. Hi guys, so it's Monday afternoon and I'm gonna leave. It's 3:53 right now, so I did want to stay a little bit later today, but I have to go pay my rent, so I want to make it to the leasing office before it closes. Otherwise it would give me like anxiety if I stayed late. Today was a good day. Everything went pretty smoothly. Tomorrow I have my pre-observation conference with my principal, and I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I have it after school. Today in the morning as we were coming in, one of my students came up to me and gave me this bracelet. It's so cute. It's just like a little charm bracelet that has different charms on it, obviously, but one of them is where is it? It says can you see? #1 teacher, and it's so cute. She has one just like it that's just like a different thing, but I was so like, I don't know, I was not expecting it, and it totally made my day. So I am gonna wear this bracelet now. Also, when I get home, I want to make more centers. My printer was still acting a little bit weird, but I did still have like 3 old like ink cartridges that I have been meaning to send back. That way they can recycle them there. So I'm gonna be using those. I changed my new one for an old one, and the printing problem was solved. Like, there was not printing weird anymore. So I think it's just that ink cartridge that is like maybe damaged, and I'll send HP an email and see if they can do anything about it, because I use my printer quite a bit, so I can't not have access to it, if that makes any sense. Alright, so I'm gonna go now and I'll talk to you guys later if I do anything school related. Okay, so I just got out of the gym and I stopped by Walmart just real quick because I want to implement a listening center, and they don't have like a boombox stereo thing. I have two actually. They just don't have the actual like plug, like the cord to plug into the wall. And I know you can put batteries in them, but I just wanted to see if Walmart had any of them, and I didn't really think so, and they did have one, but it was like $60, so I'm definitely not gonna get it. So instead I just got batteries, and I'm just gonna see how long that lasts until I can have someone let me borrow an extra one they have maybe, or I can find the cord in my classroom, because I have not been able to do that, and I really want to implement a listening center into my rotations. It was so windy today that my hair looks crazy, so ignore that. Anyway, it's Tuesday after school, and I'm just putting tape on some of our writing journals. So I think I showed you my writing journals. Actually, I don't think I showed you on the vlog, but I did post them on my Instagram story a few weeks ago. So this is what they look like. This one's mine. I just made the cover, the name, and then the inside pages are not blank anymore like they were last month. They are like this. So they have a room for the prompt, and I totally forgot this week, but I'm gonna print out a bunch of prompts, and they're gonna cut them and they're gonna glue them there, so that way we remember what we're writing about, in case whatever they write doesn't look like anything. And then room for their writing, so I like pirate days. That was yesterday. So yeah, so this is what we have for writing journals. So I just secured the spine, I guess, with duct tape, and I just used mint duct tape because it's the only one I could find. But I think it ended up looking cute because it kind of looks like a pumpkin, like, right? I don't know. I ended up liking it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them back where they go. So we used to store our journals in the back with IKEA magazine folders, or like the IKEA cardboard magazine holders, but because their water fountain's right there, they would get wet and soggy, and I just didn't like the way they looked. So I just grabbed a few of my Target bins that I'm not using anymore because I did condense my classroom library, and we just have them here. Right here I just have all my books that I'm using for read alouds, and my Play-Doh that my kids are not allowed to use for the rest of the week because once again they got some on the carpet, and I have no idea how, because they're only allowed to use it right here, and somehow it ends up like all around here, so that's kind of annoying. I had my pre-observation conference after school because I have my first formal observation tomorrow morning for Saxon Phonics, and honestly I was a little bit nervous to go into the pre-observation just because, I don't know, it's just a little bit nerve-wracking. It's the first time I'm ever doing it, and I came out of it just feeling excited for tomorrow. So I feel like that says a lot about your principal if after your pre-observation you feel excited about your formal observation. So I'm excited, and I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out, and I'm not as nervous as I was before I went into my pre-observation meeting. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is just clean up a little bit. I'm going to set out a few things that I want my volunteers to do, and I'm going to set out centers. I also want to set up the Kindles because I decided that if we're going to be using them, we are not going to use the Wi-Fi on it, just because for the past, I don't know how many days, like all last week I couldn't get, yeah, it's been like over 2 weeks that I have not been able to successfully get the Wi-Fi to work, and if it works, it only works on one Kindle, so obviously that's not good because I have at least 2 students on the Kindles every day. So, but yeah, today was so frustrating with the Kindles because I was trying to connect it to the internet to download this one thing that I need for the Kindles, and it just wouldn't connect. I even tried to connect it to my hotspot with my phone, and it wouldn't connect either. So obviously it's not necessarily like a Wi-Fi problem at the school, it's something with the Kindles, I think. Even my own personal Kindle would not connect. So what I ended up doing is, this is my personal Kindle, by the way. I downloaded this red app right there with a W, and it's called WPS Office, And if you have Kindles in your classroom, all you have to do is look for mobile office for Kindles. So then I bought 2 games from Teachers by Teachers, like PowerPoint games, that we're gonna be using for the Kindles. That way we do not need Wi-Fi for them to work. So this is what the app looks like. This is what the app looks like. And as you can see, I have 2 things already on them. This one was shared with me, and honestly, I don't really know what it does. Like, oh, I think it's just, yeah, I think this one you just go through letters, so they're just essentially flashcards. So this one's not as engaging and interactive. So then I also have Beginning Sounds PowerPoint that I will link down below if you're interested. So I just go to this one, I press play.
Butterfly. Bear.
And this will show 3 pictures.
Bat.
So then the kids are supposed to figure out what letter is at the beginning of each picture, and obviously it's going to be B, but it's self-correcting. So if they were to pick F, there's a sad face that says, oops, try again. When they pick B, it makes a sound, so then you press go.
Monkey. Mittens. Mouse.
And there we go. So that's one game that I bought. I tried it with one of my students just to make sure that they would be able to do it, and he loved it, so that's good. One thing I don't like about the Kindles so much is that it's kind of hard to go back because there's no like home button like the iPads do. So what you have to do, and it's kind of hard to teach the kids because they'll forget, at least mine will, is kind of swipe up. See, and it's not very responsive. There we go. And then you press this one or the middle one for the home button. So that's one. Nope. So then I also have this one on the Kindles. We usually play this one on the smart board, but it'll be great to have on the Kindles as well. So this is how we practice sight words. So we press W, E, next, and you just practice your sight words like this. So I just have all the sight words that we've practiced so far. I also bought another one that I haven't put on the Kindles just yet. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, I was almost about to freak out because it wasn't copying, but it's copying now. All I had to do was unlock the Kindle before I did that, so it works now. I just finished making the graphic that I'm going to post on my class dojo story for parents so they can start signing up for parent-teacher conferences. And I'm just using Sign Up Genius for parents to sign up for their time slot. So if you don't know what Sign Up Genius is, it's just basically a website that lets you create something like this. So parents will receive an email with a link to this, and they will just look at the time frames, sign up for whatever time frame works for them, and their name will appear here. Alright, so I just finished filming a video for Wednesday. I filmed the What's in My Teacher Bag. I filmed a What's in My Teacher Bag video, and so by now, if you're watching this, it's already posted. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And I'm going to try to put the link in the description box because I always forget to put things in the description box, but I'll try my best. Anyway, right now, I already have a few parents that signed up for parent-teacher conferences, so I'm going to check those. Okay, so that clip you just saw was me just kind of practicing or going over my lesson for tomorrow. So I kind of already knew what I was going to do. Actually, I have to review one more thing that I did not review. Okay, because I have no idea how to play that game. And for the most part, I just kind of wanted to see if I got the timing right, because I told my principal it was going to take about 20 to 30-ish minutes, and I wanted to make sure that the timing was right. But yeah, I just wanted to practice it just till I feel good about it, and for the most part, I do. This is basically what I do almost every single day. From day to day, it feels like it changes a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't, so I kind of already know what to expect anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and read over this, edit a video that's going up tomorrow, and then we'll see what else I'm doing. Alright, so I just finished kind of reviewing the game. It's actually not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. So now I just kind of want to show you the craft that we did today. So since we are learning about the letter A, we made some little apple crafts. And I was supposed to have all about apples, but I forgot to make the word, I forgot to make the letter A. So actually I have one. Now I can do it. So I'm going to put that there. And we all made apples. Let's see, where's mine? This one's mine. So I cut little apple shapes with green and red paper. So they told me according to what they liked better on Thursday, like if they liked the red apples better, they would get red paper. If they liked green apples better, they would get green paper. And then they would just like rip them apart into little pieces, almost pretending like they were eating the apple. So then they would glue them just on the top or in the bottom. And then they put seeds, stem, and leaf. So we did that for the little craft today. I think it turned out really cute. Also, something like really creepy happened today, so let me show you. So I have this little gem right here. I have two of them. So one of them did not work. Every time I would try to plug this in, which is like a little headphone splitter type thing, it would just turn off. So I decided to give it a try with this one, and this one worked a lot better. So we did our thing, whatever. In the afternoon, I turned it off. Then in the afternoon, it started making like a really weird noise. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was a really weird, loud noise. And I did not understand why I was making that noise. I didn't really know where it was coming from initially because I had never heard that noise before. Sometimes our water fountain makes a weird noise, but I think it's just like the water pressure, or I don't know. But it was nothing like what this little thing was making. So eventually I figured out that there was this one, and I kind of took the batteries out, but I don't know who was making that noise, if it was off. So it was a little bit creepy, but nonetheless, I just took the batteries off. So yeah. What else did we do today? Let me show you a game that we've been playing to review 3D shapes. So I have this board, right? Actually, let me show you these. So I have my 3D shapes here, and I line them up right here. Then I also have this board, and I put it here. And I have the same 3D shapes, just in a smaller version. I have all my kids sitting at the carpet. I pick one person to come behind here, and they'll like squat down, they will pick a shape. So let's say they pick a cylinder. Then they'll stand up, not showing the shape, so still putting it behind the board. And I will pick students to come on up and try to guess what shape they got. What shape the person behind the board chose. So someone will come up here, they will raise, let's say they guessed this, they will raise it up in the air and they will tell me cube, and then the class will repeat cube, and then the person behind the board has to say whether or not it's the same shape. So if it's not the same shape, then I'll pick a new student to come on up and try to guess a shape. So we just kind of do it like that. I give 3 chances for them to guess. So they're all playing as a team. They're playing against me. So I'll give them 3 chances to try to guess the shape. And if they don't guess it, then I get the point. If they do guess it within those 3 chances, they get the point, and they love it. And sometimes I'm the one that goes behind the board, and I make it really silly. I make a lot of noise. I like peek my head up the board and to the side, make silly faces, and they love it. So that is one game we've been playing and that is one game we've been using to review 3D shapes. And I used a very similar game. Also, by the way, I did not come up with this. One of my team teachers did, and I loved it. So I also played a similar game for 2D shapes, but instead of having like actual shapes it could hold, I just had the shapes on the Promethean board. So the Promethean board, and I had like little cutout shapes that they would pick from, if that makes sense. So that is something we've been doing for shapes. I showed you this last week, but every week we do a letter poster, and while I'm drawing it, they're also drawing it on a piece of paper, so that way they're still engaged and it's not just me drawing things on the paper.
Alright, so I finally put together the listening center thing. So if you remember, I had this mat like all weirdly laid out. And one of my teen teachers watches my vlogs sometimes. And on that vlog that I was saying how on Lakeshore I found this one, but I didn't know how to put it together. She recognized it and she came in and was like, hey, you're just missing that little thing that's up there. So I finally put it together and it looks so much better. So this is where I'm going to plan to have my listening center at. Alright, so it's getting dark outside. So I'm going to leave. It's observation day. Alright, so this is going to be a center. They're going to be ghost letters. I saw this on Facebook the other day. So I'm just putting this on parchment paper and just tracing letters with a hot glue gun. And they're just going to come off like super easily once they dry. And then I'm going to put these letters in a box with white rice so they'll be half. So my students are going to have to look for the letters and then match them where they go. See, this is a noise that This is the noise that I'm talking about. It just all of a sudden started making this noise and it's off. So I'm currently feeling a little bit frustrated. It has nothing to do with work. It's just more of my personal life, I guess. It has to do with my family emergency and the aftermath of it. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job dealing with it. I'm essentially like the rock of my family. It's only my brother, my dad, and I. So, but it's hard being the rock of the family, and it's hard doing so while like starting off my teaching career. So I'm just feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up here and then just leave. I'm gonna go meet up with a friend that I haven't seen in a while, and we're just gonna go get food because I guess she had a rough day too. So not that I had a rough day, but I'm just feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and because I'm overwhelmed right now, I feel like I'm not productive. So I am just gonna clean up and go. I am trying to get as much ready as I can for tomorrow because tomorrow I have morning duties, so it's not like I can get things ready before the bell rings. But at least I have specials, so I have that little bit of time. And for the most part, I have everything ready. I'm just going to get ready my question of the day for tomorrow, and then I'm going to call it a day. I seriously have no patience for computers when they freeze, especially this one. This one tends to freeze a lot. Oh, and that reminds me, I did order a smaller wireless keyboard for my computer here. I don't know if I told you. And I also ordered a wireless mouse because I feel like it's very bulky and it takes up a lot of space in my desk, and it makes it look more cluttered, especially because it's black and my desk is mostly white. So I ordered a few things and they were delivered today, so I have to go pick them up before the leasing office closes. At least I have that to look forward to. I also bought a new mouse pad because this one was already left here from the teacher before me, I think, and it's really pretty. I like it, but I feel like it's a little bit too busy with my desk since I do have a marble print, and then just having that on top just kind of looks a little bit too much. So yeah, but anyway, I was trying to show you how I do my question of the day because I don't think we'll show you this one. I don't think I've shown you this. So let me double check it first before I show you because I don't want to show you any students' names. So I'm going to go ahead and cover those. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like. This was one of the questions of the day that we had for last week. So it just says, what is the best letter we have learned about? And then try to put a yellow box behind our sight words so they should know those words. So when I read it, I don't say those words, they say those words. Or my students do. And typically I have all their names right here, but I just cover them real quick so I could show you this. And I also have my name on there too. So when they are done with morning work, they turn it in, and then they come up to the Promethean board. Let me move this here. And they answer it. So they'll drag their name to what their answer is. So if I would have picked O, I would have left it there. And then at the end of it, there's a bunch of like names on them. Then we use their answers for our journal writing in the afternoon. So this is what their writing journals look like. This is just my version. So for example, I think I showed you a little bit yesterday. The question of the day yesterday, what has been your favorite class event? And I just kind of demo how I want them to answer it and what they're going to write with finger spaces and stuff like that. So, oh, but before that we do discuss in a circle our answers. So I'll go, okay, I picked the letter O because I like the sound it makes. So I'll give a reason behind my answer, and then we'll just go around and then do our journal. So there's that. I forgot my lunchbox in my classroom. I don't want to go back and get it, so I don't think I am. And I'm just gonna buy like cafeteria food tomorrow. I just picked up the package that I was talking about earlier, and this was my new mouse pad. And I know I said the other one's kind of busy, and this one is kind of too, but just the colors are a little bit more mellow, and I enjoyed this a lot better. This is what the keyboard looks like. It's pretty small, like my steering wheel is bigger than it, so I like it, and it kind of reminds me of a Mac or an iMac keyboard. I used to have an iMac like a few months ago, and then I sold it because I didn't use it, but I love like how sleek it looks. Then I have a mouse right here. That's what it looks like. So this makes my heart happy. It's Thursday after school, and I don't feel very well. I feel very tired. I feel almost like I'm hot, but I want to be like wrapped in a blanket, and it's not a good thing. I know a lot of my kids have been absent throughout the week, like they've kind of been rotating, and I feel like it's finally getting to me, and I don't want it to. So I'm gonna just clean up, organize a few things for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna leave because I can't. I don't want to get sick. Okay, so my day just got a little bit better because our Lakeshore order came in. A few vlogs ago I mentioned how we had a little bit of money to spend, and this is what I got, so let me show you. Okay, so I got these. These are just like dough stampers, which will be great, but not for now because we're taking a break from Play-Doh since since it still gets on the floor. So until we can handle Play-Doh, we will be able to do those. I also got these sightward steps, which will be fun with someone's staring at me. Which will be fun with the help of a volunteer. This is probably my favorite one. This is unlock it, number match. So they have a number and they have to find the right key to unlock it. And then I just have some pencil grips because I think some of my kiddos will benefit from this. I totally don't remember why I got these. I think it's because I had a few dollars left and didn't really know what else to get. But these are just magnetic ones. So I have these. And then I also have 10 reusable, what are these called? Like sheet protectors? I don't know what they're called. I guess write and wipe pockets. So I have 5 already, so now I have 10 more, and these are prettier. Right now I'm just kind of organizing this cube organizer because I was using it for stuff like this that we don't use on a daily basis, so there's no need for me to have it there taking up storage. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in our play area and then just kind of clean up this a little bit. But yeah, so now these 2 bins are going to be there, which is going to look a lot better than them being thrown around right there. I printed some of these almost like, I don't know what they're called, but I printed these out. So this is what they look like. And I'm going to fill out 2 to send home tomorrow. Okay, so it's 4:50 and I'm about to head out because I'm gonna meet some friends for dinner. So before I leave, I wanted to show you what we did in between one of our rotations for today, and I made some Halloween themed I Have Who Has cards. They were just with the alphabet, so we played it for the first time today, and I just kind of wanted to see how it was gonna go. So I wanted to play it once, and they like begged to play it again, so it was really good. They were helping each other, and I really like it, so I think I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna make some for math too, with numbers and maybe with shapes. So yeah. Happy Friday. It's the end of the day, and it was a really good day. My classroom smells like vinegar because we did a science experiment with vinegar, so now it just smells like it, and it's kind of giving me a headache, so I'm probably gonna leave soon. For our experiment, we had a lot of leftover apples from our apple tasting event, so I decided to do an experiment with them. I saw this thing on Pinterest where you kind of like make a hole on the apple, like you take out the core, what is it called? I don't know, whatever. You make a hole and then you fill the hole with baking soda. Then if you put vinegar on top of it, it's gonna like fizz out and kind of make like a volcano almost. So I wanted to do that. Originally, because it was just gonna be me by myself at the end of the day, I was going to just kind of do it the same way that we did the tornadoes, where I do it in front of everybody and we just kind of watch. But luckily I had a parent volunteer. She was originally going to come to the classroom at 11, but she was running behind, so she asked me if I still wanted her to come in, and I said yes, and I'm so glad I did. She was able to prep materials for all my students so we could all have an apple and see what happens. So we all had an apple at our table with a plate with a little container of vinegar. They had like little plastic baggies on their hands so like they wouldn't get it on their hands. But before all this, we did kind of talk about like what we thought was going to happen if we put the vinegar on the apple with the baking soda, and a lot of kids were like, no, it's nothing going to happen, it's just going to get wet, or it's going to explode, or things like that. So when we came back from the playground, they were able to do it themselves, but we had to do it all together, and they were supposed to follow my instructions, and they were not supposed to talk because we were supposed to be safe, and they did such a good job. Like, I'm always so surprised by the way they follow directions, like with this and the decorating the cookies and the tornadoes. Like, they always follow directions because they are so eager and they really want to do it. So I think that's really cool. Oh my god, my head. Anyway, they all loved it. They all going crazy, and like I just kind of gave them like another round of vinegar to put on their apple, and it was really, really fun. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. With one hand, you're gonna get your little cup of water or liquid. Oh, not yet, not yet. When I say go. And very carefully, you are going to put it where the white stuff on your apple is. Okay, we're gonna see what happens. Some of you said it's something that nothing's gonna happen, so we're gonna find out. Ready? Go. You can use two hands. It's okay. Also did our A craft. So if you've been watching my vlogs, then you know that every week we do a craft to go along with our letter of the week. So we did an alligator, or we made an alligator. So this is what it looks like. I did let my students kind of decorate the background a little bit more because this is kind of plain. They all really enjoy making their little crafts. Also, I don't know if I'm gonna vlog. I'm gonna vlog next week, but I don't know about the week after that because we are gonna be on fall break. So there's not really much to vlog about. I'm still gonna be working. I'm gonna work at the daycare that I worked at over the summer just to help out a little bit. But I don't know if there's gonna be a vlog that weekend. And if there's not, then I'll post some other kind of video. Alright, so now the door's closed. I feel a little bit better. So I was thinking about my observation, and I feel like it went pretty well. Until yesterday when I was pulling out the worksheet that I was supposed to do for Saxon that day. I realized I did the wrong worksheet for my observation. Technically, we're still working on the same skills throughout the week, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I had put in my observation I was going to use worksheet 26, and I used on my observation lesson plan, I had put that I was going to use worksheet 27, when in reality I was going to use worksheet 20. Wait a minute, I'm getting confused now. No, I think on my observation plan I had put that I was going to use worksheet 27, and I ended up using worksheet 26. So I don't know if that's going to be a big deal or not. I hope not. And if it is, I don't know. Proud teacher moment. I don't know if I talked about this already, but I don't think I have. Yesterday we introduced like little decodable readers. So let me show you what they look like. So this is what they look like. So this is hot, hot, hot because we already know those letters and we should know those sounds and we should be able to kind of blend them. So I pulled a few students to read those little books with me. So I pulled 2 students. So I was helping them out. We were like decoding each word, and this one student got so excited because he was reading. I mean, technically I was still helping him a lot, but just the reaction or just the student's reaction was priceless, and it made me so happy. I almost teared up a little bit because the student was so excited. I was helping the student decode the words, and then we would read it together and read the whole sentence together, and the student was like, I'm reading, and it was so cute. And after every single word that the student read, the student would still say, I'm reading, and it was just so awesome to see that. This is why I wanted to teach kindergarten, because I want to see that reaction with every single student. So I was so happy. It totally made my day yesterday. Another note, I was so frustrated with technology today again. I think this whole week has been like a weird week for technology. Yesterday my Promethean board wasn't really working. I think I've talked about how I have a question of the day every morning, so when students finish their work they go and answer the question of the day by themselves with the pen, and they drag their name to their answer. Yesterday wasn't working. The pen was like calibrated, because you can see like when you touch the board the little blue icon on the corner would light up, so that tells you that it's working or it's supposed to be working, but it wasn't doing anything to the board. And like I tried turning it off, turning it on, restarting my computer, and it just wasn't working. Luckily it works just fine today. I had also ordered a wireless keyboard, a wireless mouse, and a new mouse pad, just to kind of condense like all the bulkiness on my desk. And the mouse was working fine. The keyboard, however, this was not working, and it's so frustrating because I really wanted it to work. I was so disappointed. At first I thought it was just the batteries that I was using, because I do have like pretty cheap like Dollar Tree batteries, or those were the only ones I had with me anyway. But then I asked another teacher to see if she maybe had some, and she did, and hers were like actually like name brand, and those didn't work either. So I'm gonna return it and hopefully get a new one. The only thing though is I really want a white keyboard. So I know there was only 2 on Amazon that was like wireless. The other one's connected through Bluetooth, so I don't think I can do that with this computer. But hopefully I can get one that works. This whole week I've been having issues with my Kindles. They just won't connect to the internet when I need them to. Actually, like towards the end of the week they were better, but at the beginning of the week they were not connecting. So it's just frustrating because I do have a center of just like tablets where they play like literacy games, and they weren't working. So that was frustrating. On Wednesday's video I mentioned how I was trying to figure out a listening center, and I think I talked about, or I don't know if I talked about it, but I have like those little boombox stereos. I have 2 of them in my classroom. However, none of them have like the outlet plug wire thing that you would plug into the wall. None of them have it, and I can't find it for the life of me. So I bought batteries for them, and it was working for the first one, but the discs that I have kept skipping, which makes no sense because I just opened them like literally that same day, and it was just kind of annoying. So I tried it on the other boombox stereo thing, and the same thing was happening. So I figured, you know what, I can just put it on my laptop, plug in the headphones there, and they can do it there. And nope, it wasn't working. The disc was also skipping on my laptop. So then I was trying to think like, what can I do? So I figured if I import the audio from my audio disc and just make a playlist on my laptop, it should be fine. So I tried doing that and it wasn't really working because again, it was skipping. Yes, I know you can just look up read alouds on YouTube or Epic. I love Epic. I've been wanting to be able to use it in my classroom, but unfortunately Epic is not compatible, or at least the app is not compatible with Kindles. That's the first thing I tried when I found out that I had Kindles, and it's not compatible. And yes, technically they could go on the browser, but again, the Wi-Fi is so spotty that it's just not reliable, and I don't want to have that as a center and not have it work and just like throw things off, if you know what I mean. So what I ended up doing is I tried to download a video from YouTube, like a read aloud, and I transferred it to my personal Kindle, and it was working perfectly. Sorry, like a student came in and I freaked out. But I think I was talking about how I downloaded the video from YouTube, I put it on my Kindle, and it was working just fine. So the kids would just play the video, listen to it, and then they would do a response sheet to the story. And like I said, it was working wonderfully yesterday. I had 2 groups do it, and they loved it, and all the other kids were really excited to get a chance to do it themselves. This morning, it just wasn't working. But I turned on the Kindle and there was 0 videos. I had put 6 videos in there with stories and there was none. And I restarted it, I took the memory card out, I did so many things to it and nothing was working. So I figured, okay, fine, I'll just load them on there again. So I connected it to the computer and it wasn't recognizing it. So I'm so annoyed with Kindles right now. And it's not even like that the school Kindles are bad or anything, it's just I feel just the brand as a whole, like I feel like they're not ideal for like apps. I think like obviously Kindles are well known for ebooks and that's what they're meant for, but for apps they're not like the strongest tablet out there. If I could have it my way in the perfect world, I would probably have iPads. iPads are just a lot more responsive, they're easier to use, the battery lasts longer. I think they're just more heavy duty and they're like more durable in my opinion. I've had really good experiences with iPads before. My brother has an iPad. He has a generation 1 iPad. He got it when it first came out back in the day and it still works like perfectly. So that says a lot about iPads in my opinion. So I think I'm going to try to write a Donors Choose project. That would be great if it got funded. And I don't need like iPads for my whole class. I think with 4 or 5 iPads it'd probably be fine. So we'll see how that goes. Honestly, I'm kind of regretting buying the Kindle because one of the Kindles that I have here is my personal Kindle that I bought to have in the classroom because I wanted to have some type of tablet in the classroom, and I bought it during Amazon Prime days, so it was a little bit cheaper, but I personally don't think it was worth it, especially now because I bought it like for my classroom, but I also thought like, oh, I can probably read books on it too if I want to, which I can, but I can also do that on my phone. So I don't know, I'm just a little bit frustrated with technology right now. I hope that I can get it figured out for next week. Next week is when I have another observation. I think I talked about this a little bit in like a few clips ago. I'm gonna have an observation from my instructional coach. She's also going to observe phonics, which is gonna look a little bit different than it did when my principal observed me, because I just got this thing from Teachers Pay Teachers where it's like a flip chart for Saxon. So instead of me like having to look at the script, I guess it's just in the Promethean board, and like worksheets are there, the cards are there, so it's all there and it makes it super easy. So that is why it's going to be a little bit different. I didn't get that until yesterday, so that's why I didn't use it for my observation because I didn't have it then, but so far I am really liking it. If I remember, I will put it in the description box below. Alright, so my classroom is not that clean, but I am going to start heading out pretty soon. I just have some things to do at home, and I think I'm just going to come back tomorrow for a little bit, as well as Sunday, just to get some things ready. But before I go, I'm so excited because I have construction paper. Yay! I am running low on construction paper and Astrobites paper because I've been using Astrobites paper instead of construction paper because I had more of that, but now I'm running out of both. But yeah,
I have construction paper. I'm so happy. I had just bought construction paper yesterday from Target, and it was one of these that come like with a sort of paper and that don't come separated, but I had a parent volunteer separate them for me so I can kind of know how much paper I have. I also had a parent volunteer make these little booklets for me, so when students are done with a center early, they're gonna work on these. Yep. Oh, also I had a parent give me a few Halloween decorations, which was really cool. So I have this and a banner that I haven't put up yet. So this is our A poster for the week, and it was kind of hard to come up with A pictures that were easy to draw. I'm covering these because they have names of 3 girls that have a name that starts with an A, but I liked our P poster a lot better. It was easier to come up with things. This looks cuter.